Slider. You stink.
Hollywood may sell perfection, but some stars smell worse than a locker room. From rubbing hemorrhoid cream under their eyes, ditching deodorant, to bizarre bird-dropping facials, these habits left co-stars gagging and crews desperate for fresh air.
Yeah, I stink bad.
Yeah, you stink real bad. Your breath smells terrible.
These are the 25 actors so smelly, nobody wants to sit near them. Number 25. Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise keeps bird poop in a temperature-controlled refrigerator in his trailer, and that's not even the strangest part of this story. The Mission Impossible star discovered the geisha facial, an ancient Japanese treatment involving nightingale droppings, and became so devoted, he allegedly spent over $300 per session having bird excrement carefully applied to his face. He supposedly became obsessed after Victoria Beckham's endorsement, installing a special cooling system to maintain the droppings at optimal temperature. Spa technicians describe him meditating peacefully while covered in bird waste, achieving a zen state that would make most people gag. The treatment supposedly contains enzymes that exfoliate dead skin, though scientists argue you could achieve the same results without involving bird intestines. Number 24. Megan Fox. Megan Fox's stunning appearance hides a bathroom secret that would make most people lose their lunch. The Transformers star simply doesn't flush toilets, leaving surprises for whoever comes next, like the world's worst Easter egg hunt. Her ex-husband, Brian Austin Green, installed automatic flush sensors throughout their mansion, only to discover Fox had figured out how to disable them because the sudden noise startled her. Their house required bathroom rules posted on every door, written in increasingly desperate fonts as the situation worsened. Green tried everything from gentle reminders to full-scale interventions, even hiring a psychologist who specialized in bathroom anxiety. Fox remained unmoved, treating the whole situation like a quirky personality trait rather than a hygiene catastrophe. Her trailer on movie sets required a full-time sanitation assistant whose only job was to check after Fox used the facilities. The assistant, who requested anonymity, described it as the worst job in Hollywood, though the hazard pay was apparently substantial. Number 23. Joan Fontaine. Joan Fontaine's dressing room at RKO Studios reeked of rebellion mixed with three-day-old sweat. The Oscar winner for Suspicion treated bathing like a personal protest against Hollywood's suffocating control, convinced that studio executives had no business dictating when she should soap up. Her assistant once found her proudly announcing she hadn't touched water in 5 days, treating it like an achievement worth celebrating. Alfred Hitchcock discovered this aromatic challenge while directing Rebecca, when Fontaine arrived on set trailing a cloud that made crew members suddenly remember urgent tasks elsewhere. The master of suspense tried subtle hints, positioning fans strategically and scheduling her scenes near open windows. When that failed, his assistant resorted to spraying copious amounts of Chanel No. 5 around the set, creating a perfume fog so thick it made everyone's eyes water. Laurence Olivier, her co-star in Rebecca, maintained British politeness while secretly holding his breath during their intimate scenes. The costume department learned to have multiple identical outfits ready, swapping them when Fontaine wasn't looking. Number 22. Clark Gable. Clark Gable's $1 million smile was actually worth about 32 cents in dental work. By the time he filmed Gone with the Wind, severe gum disease had claimed most of his original teeth, leaving him with primitive dentures that absorbed odors like a kitchen sponge left under the sink. Vivien Leigh later confessed that their famous kiss felt like pressing her lips against a garbage disposal that hadn't been cleaned since the Hoover administration. The king of Hollywood's dental disaster started in his 20s when infections ravaged his gums beyond repair. His 1930s dentures, crafted from vulcanized rubber and porcelain that would absorb odors like a sponge left in dishwater, created a bacterial paradise that no amount of mouthwash could conquer. These primitive materials, before the invention of modern acrylic resins, essentially turned his mouth into a petri dish that fermented throughout the day. Makeup artists kept peppermint oil hidden around the set, which Leigh would secretly dab under her nose between takes while maintaining her Southern Belle composure. Director Victor Fleming scheduled all kissing scenes for dawn, hoping to catch Gable's mouth at its least offensive. The famous staircase scene required 17 takes, not for dramatic perfection, but because Leigh kept turning away at crucial moments, claiming she needed to adjust her corset when really she was gasping for untainted air. Number 21. Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf's tank in Fury wasn't the only thing that reeked of warfare. The actor spent 3 months cultivating a personal atmosphere so toxic that Brad Pitt, who famously uses baby wipes instead of showers, complained about the smell. LaBeouf believed World War II soldiers wouldn't have access to hygiene products, so he transformed himself into a walking biological weapon that made his castmates question their career choices. Anonymous care packages started appearing outside his trailer like offerings to an angry god. Soap, deodorant, and industrial-strength body wipes piled up while LaBeouf interpreted them as attacks on his artistic integrity. During tank scenes, his co-stars developed a rotation system, limiting each person's exposure to what John Bernthal called the LaBeouf zone to prevent actual illness. Maddie Ziegler faced the full LaBeouf experience during Sia's Elastic Heart video, where their contemporary dance required extensive physical contact. She diplomatically suggested wet wipes between takes, which LaBeouf rejected, claiming his authentic smell enhanced the video's raw emotional truth. The 12-year-old dancer later said she learned to breathe through her mouth, a skill that served her well in future collaborations. Number 20. Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock keeps a tube of Preparation H next to her La Mer cream, and she reaches for the hemorrhoid ointment first. America's sweetheart discovered this beauty secret on the set of Miss Congeniality when a makeup artist noticed her puffy eyes and pulled out what Bullock assumed was expensive French eye cream. The reveal that she'd been rubbing medical-grade butt cream on her face left her laughing so hard she almost needed more under-eye treatment. The anti-inflammatory properties designed to shrink swollen tissue work identically on eye bags, creating results that rivaled treatments costing hundreds of dollars. Bullock's dedication to this unconventional method reached panic levels before the 2010 Oscars, when her assistant forgot to pack the magic tube. 3 Walgreens stores were cleared of their entire Preparation H stock as her team scrambled to ensure she'd be camera-ready. Her makeup artists now label the tubes discreetly as Swiss eye treatment, after several visiting celebrities nearly fainted upon seeing hemorrhoid cream in the beauty lineup. Bullock finds the whole situation hilarious, often joking that her red carpet glow comes from the pharmacy's most embarrassing aisle. Number 19. Viggo Mortensen. Viggo Mortensen disappeared so completely into Aragorn that he forgot indoor plumbing existed. For 18 months in New Zealand, the method actor lived like Middle-earth's rangers actually would, sleeping under stars, wearing the same clothes for days, and treating dirt as a natural accessory. He arrived at Peter Jackson's set each morning already in character, saving the makeup department hours of work since he'd cultivated authentic grime overnight. Sean Bean started hiding car air fresheners in his Boromir costume after their first sword training session in close quarters. Orlando Bloom mastered the art of upwind positioning during group shots, while the hobbits formed a protective buffer zone during feast scenes. The makeup team eventually surrendered, realizing that trying to add fake dirt over Mortensen's real accumulation was like painting mud brown. Years later, during Captain Fantastic promotion, his young co-stars revealed a completely different Mortensen who smelled of green tea and yerba mate, whose trailer didn't require hazmat warnings. Number 18. Robert Pattinson. Robert Pattinson's vampire transformation included cultivating the hygiene habits of someone who'd been dead for a century. The Twilight star let his hair go unwashed until it achieved what he called authentic vampire texture, which looked artistic on screen but smelled like a gym locker up close. He'd wear the same clothes for 5 days straight, convinced that vampires wouldn't change outfits. Kristen Stewart, dealing with her own unique approach to cleanliness, still found Pattinson's methods excessive. The wardrobe department started secretly swapping his identical outfits while he slept, literally stealing his clothes to wash them. His signature tousled hair wasn't styled. It was simply what happens when natural oils meet neglect for a week straight. Number 17. Jake Gyllenhaal. Jake Gyllenhaal dropped a hygiene bomb during his 2021 Vanity Fair interview that sent shockwaves through social media. The Nightcrawler star casually mentioned that bathing daily strips away beneficial bacteria, treating showers like optional activities rather than social requirements. His philosophy centers on letting the body's natural cleaning systems work their magic, though he draws a hard line at dental care, brushing, and flossing with religious dedication. Tom Holland learned about Gyllenhaal's approach firsthand during Spider-Man Far From Home fight scenes. The younger actor diplomatically described Gyllenhaal as bringing authentic intensity to their confrontations, carefully avoiding mention of the actual intensity emanating from his co-star's armpits. The costume department reportedly had to create multiple Mysterio suits, rotating them frequently to manage what they delicately called accumulation. Gyllenhaal claims his skin has never looked better since reducing his shower frequency, attributing a natural glow to preserved oils that soap would destroy. His dating history suddenly made more sense to gossip columnists who wondered if Taylor Swift's All Too Well contained hidden references to hygiene incompatibility from their brief 2010 romance. The couple dated for just 3 months, but Swift's 10-minute version of the song includes vivid details that fans now speculate might include sensory memories beyond just emotional ones. Number 16. Montgomery Clift. Montgomery Clift's 1956 car accident didn't just reshape his face, it demolished his relationship with soap and water. The brooding method actor who'd captivated audiences in A Place in the Sun and From Here to Eternity was considered one of Hollywood's most talented and handsome leading men before that fateful night. The devastating crash left him dependent on painkillers and alcohol, creating a downward spiral that manifested in week-long stretches without bathing. Elizabeth Taylor, his closest friend and frequent co-star from films like A Place in the Sun and Suddenly last summer, would arrive at his apartment with cleaning supplies hidden in her purse, trying to help without bruising his already fragile ego. His trailer on film sets became an intervention zone where well-meaning crew members left anonymous gifts of deodorant and fresh clothing. Clift would wear the same outfit until it practically stood on its own, his natural elegance fighting a losing battle against accumulated grime. Directors learned to shoot his scenes early in the week, knowing that by Friday, even the strongest stage lights couldn't mask what was happening. Taylor once had her personal assistant fill Clift's bathtub and literally guide him to it, staying outside the door to ensure he actually used it. Number 15. Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt's medicine cabinet reads like a salad dressing recipe. The Hollywood heartthrob abandoned commercial deodorant for a homemade concoction of apple cider vinegar and lemon water, convinced that aluminum-based products were aging him from the inside out. His 6 children didn't share his enthusiasm for natural living, christening him Stinky Daddy and launching soap at him like tiny, well-groomed rebels. Angelina Jolie tolerated his wet wipe showers and vinegar applications until the smell started affecting her morning sickness during pregnancy. The kids took matters into their own hands, ambushing him with Irish Spring and Chanel No. 5 in what became known as the Great Hygiene Rebellion of 2011. Pitt found it endearing, though he continued his natural routine, adding baking soda to his arsenal of kitchen cabinet toiletries. His commitment to avoiding toxic products extended to his hair care, using beer as conditioner and clay as shampoo. The contrast between his People's Sexiest Man Alive titles and his actual aroma became Hollywood's worst-kept secret, proving that even genetic perfection can't overcome the smell of fermented apple cider seeping from pores. Number 14. Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence turned the Hunger Games into torture games with her pre-kiss menu selections. The actress treated craft services like an arsenal, loading up on garlic bread, tuna sandwiches, and everything bagels with extra onions before every romantic scene. Liam Hemsworth discovered this during their cave sequence when her breath hit him like a seafood market during a heat wave. Josh Hutcherson developed defensive strategies, including breathing exercises that let him survive their kisses without inhaling. By Mockingjay, she was eating anchovy Caesar salads, claiming it helped her connect with Katniss's survival mentality while her co-stars fought for their own survival. Number 13. Marilyn M. Monroe. Marilyn Monroe's beauty routine included diamonds, red lipstick, and a complete rejection of deodorant that left her smelling nothing like Chanel No. 5. The blonde bombshell believed aluminum-based antiperspirants were toxic chemicals designed to poison women slowly, preferring to let nature take its course under those iconic white dresses. Her natural approach to body odor created such a memorable impression that Tony Curtis, after filming Some Like It Hot, compared kissing her to locking lips with Adolf Hitler. The comparison wasn't about her politics, but her aroma, which Curtis found so overwhelming he'd excuse himself between takes to breathe fresh air. Makeup artists learned to work quickly, knowing that studio lights would intensify whatever Monroe's body was naturally producing. They'd strategically place fans around her, not for the wind-blown effect, but for basic ventilation. Billy Wilder, directing Some Like It Hot, scheduled Monroe's close-ups for early morning when her natural scent was least pronounced. Behind the sex symbol facade, Monroe struggled with anxiety and insomnia that often led to skipping basic hygiene for days. Her housekeeper reported finding Marilyn in the same nightgown 3 days running, her platinum hair matted against her head. Number 12. Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp's Captain Jack Sparrow didn't just sail the 7 seas, he brought their smell to every set. The actor refused to bathe during the entire Pirates franchise, arguing that real pirates wouldn't have worried about dental hygiene or deodorant. His dedication created an atmosphere so authentic that Disney considered it a health hazard. Angelina Jolie faced the full Depp experience during The Tourist, where their romantic scenes required her to hide Listerine strips in her costume. She'd slip them to Depp between takes like a drug deal, desperately trying to make their kisses bearable. The situation got so bad that Jolie's facial expressions in early takes showed visible disgust that post-production couldn't fix, forcing expensive reshoots where she'd premedicated with nasal numbing spray. Number 11. Kristen Stewart. Kristen Stewart's hair oil could probably power a small car. The Twilight actress treats shampoo like poison, going days without washing her hair until it achieves what she calls authentic grunge texture. Robert Pattinson, no stranger to questionable hygiene himself, once compared her smell to a wet dog that had rolled in something questionable, though he later claimed he meant it affectionately. Stewart's approach to cleanliness matches her approach to life. Minimal effort, maximum authenticity. She'll wear the same outfit for days, claiming that re-wearing clothes gives them character. Makeup artists have learned to work with what they call Day 5 hair, which has enough natural oil to style without any products. They've also learned not to stand downwind. During press tours, handlers started packing emergency dry shampoo and wet wipes, though Stewart would often refuse them. She views her natural state as a rebellion against Hollywood's impossible standards, not realizing she's created her own impossible standard for anyone who has to share her breathing space. Number 10. Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper belongs to Hollywood's anti-deodorant club, but compensates with a shower schedule that would make a germaphobe proud. The Hangover star starts his day with a 5 a.m. shower, follows up with a post-gym rinse, and ends with a nighttime cleanse, yet refuses to apply anything that might stop him from sweating between these sessions. His theory involves the body's natural detox systems, which he believes aluminum-based products sabotage. Lady Gaga mastered the art of strategic positioning during A Star is Born promotion, always standing slightly upwind during photo ops. She developed what photographers called the lean-away hug, maintaining visual intimacy while maximizing distance. Cooper interprets his co-star's reactions as jealousy over his natural approach to health, missing the obvious signs that his 3-shower system isn't quite covering all bases. Number 9. Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe's Oscar sits on a shelf, but his deodorant stays permanently in the store. The Gladiator star treats each role like a military campaign against modern hygiene, arguing that historical accuracy demands historical stench. Renee Zellweger discovered this during Cinderella Man, when their first rehearsal left her eyes watering and her lunch threatening to resurface. Zellweger's solution was brilliantly diplomatic. She requested a body double for all intimate scenes, claiming she wanted to preserve the mystery for audiences. The real mystery was how anyone could stand within 3 feet of Crowe after he'd spent weeks cultivating what he called Depression-era authenticity. The body double, a struggling actress named Sarah, lasted 2 days before requesting hazard pay. Crowe seemed genuinely puzzled by the fuss, explaining that Jim Braddock wouldn't have owned deodorant during the Great Depression. His commitment reached new heights during Noah, where he decided the biblical figure wouldn't have access to soap for 40 days and 40 nights. Emma Watson developed a breathing technique she later taught to drama students, calling it survival breathing for method actors. Jennifer Connelly simply held her breath during their scenes, leading to some unintentionally red-faced moments that worked perfectly for her character's frustration. Number 8. Britney Spears. Britney Spears' former bodyguard, Fernando Flores, filed a lawsuit that read like a hygiene horror story. According to Flores, the pop princess treated showers like optional activities, deodorant like the enemy, and shoes like unnecessary barriers between her feet and gas station bathroom floors. The accusations painted a picture of someone whose offstage life contradicted every sparkling performance. Her Vegas residency required special protocols to manage what staff delicately called the situation. Dancers learned positioning strategies, makeup artists became dry shampoo experts, and costume changes happened at lightning speed to minimize exposure to outfits that had absorbed too much Britney. The barefoot gas station incident became iconic, with paparazzi photos showing her emerging with visibly dirty feet, seemingly unbothered by the bacterial party she'd just hosted. Number 7. Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis measure their children's bath time by visible dirt accumulation, like they're checking oil levels in a car. The power couple announced their philosophy that if you can't see dirt, there's no need to bathe. sending shockwaves through parenting forums worldwide. Kutcher washes only his armpits and groin with Lever 2000 soap, treating the rest of his body like it's self-cleaning. Their children became unknowing test subjects in this hygiene experiment. Kunis, who grew up without hot water in Ukraine, sees American bathing habits as excessive. Now worth hundreds of millions, she could bathe in champagne, but chooses to barely bathe at all. Pediatricians rushed to clarify that visible dirt shouldn't be the benchmark for children's hygiene, but the couple remained unmoved. Number 6. Julia Roberts. Julia Roberts' million-dollar smile hides a water-saving obsession that's created its own problems. The Pretty Woman star limits herself to quick rinses every few days, convinced she's saving the planet one skipped shower at a time. Her former bodyguard described her as a total hippie, whose commitment to conservation meant everyone around her had to endure the increasingly powerful aroma that builds between her infrequent wash days. Roberts doesn't just skip showers, she's turned it into an art form. She'll go 4 days without water touching her body, using essential oils to mask what nature's producing. Her hair, which she insists benefits from natural scalp oils, develops what stylists diplomatically call texture by day 3. She's openly admitted to loving the smell of her unwashed hair, describing it as earthy authenticity, while others describe it as something else entirely. During Eat, Pray, Love filming in India, the crew assumed her method acting included embracing the ashram's minimal bathing philosophy. They later learned she was like this everywhere, from Hollywood sets to Italian villas. Her co-stars learned to suggest outdoor scenes, and directors started checking wind patterns before scheduling her close-ups. Number 5. Matthew McConaughey. Matthew McConaughey's deodorant-free lifestyle has lasted longer than most Hollywood marriages. For 22 years, the Texas native has treated antiperspirant like the enemy, convinced his natural musk attracts women like honey attracts bears. Kate Hudson discovered the full McConaughey experience during Fool's Gold, when tropical heat turned their romantic scenes into endurance tests. Hudson arrived on set armed with every natural deodorant alternative she could find, from crystal stones to tea tree oil sticks. McConaughey examined each one like a scientist before rejecting them all, explaining that covering his scent would be like hiding his soul. His philosophy goes deeper than just avoiding aluminum. He believes human pheromones are nature's cologne, and modern society has forgotten how to appreciate authentic human smell. The irony is McConaughey's complete confidence that women love his aroma. He's written extensively about it in his memoir, describing his scent as leather meets cedar meets man. His wife Camilla apparently agrees, though their children have started asking uncomfortable questions at school pickup. Number 4. Shailene Woodley. Shailene Woodley's morning routine involves drinking something that smells like compost tea mixed with expired vitamins. The Chinese herbal supplements she swears by for emotional clarity left Miles Teller breathing through his mouth during every kissing scene in The Spectacular Now. He described the experience as trying to romance someone who'd been gargling with liquid mulch, though he was too polite to say it directly to her face. Her essential oil addiction has cost fashion houses more than most people's annual salaries. Woodley applies layers of patchouli, tea tree, and eucalyptus throughout the day, creating a scent cloud that permanently embeds itself into fabric. Valentino allegedly burned a $30,000 gown rather than attempt cleaning it, while Versace now requires a $10,000 damage deposit before lending her anything. She considers their rejection proof that high fashion needs more earth energy. During Big Little Lies, Reese Witherspoon started scheduling their scenes for outdoors whenever possible. Nicole Kidman developed what she called Woodley breathing, a technique that involved taking deep breaths before approaching Shailene, then holding it for as long as the scene required. Number 3. Cameron Diaz. Cameron Diaz hasn't let deodorant touch her armpits since the Clinton administration. The Charlie's Angels star believes antiperspirant clogs pores like tiny aluminum prisons, trapping toxins that need to escape. Her solution involves wearing the same outfit for 4 consecutive days, then throwing it away rather than washing it, creating a carbon footprint that contradicts every environmental stance she claims to support. Lucy Liu and Drew Barrymore staged what they called the deodorant intervention of 2002, gifting Diaz dozens of natural alternatives during Charlie's Angels filming. She rejected every single one, explaining that her body had achieved its own bacterial balance that shouldn't be disturbed. The wardrobe department discovered she'd been secretly re-wearing the same undergarments beneath different costumes, creating continuity nightmares when sweat stains showed through. By day 4 of any outfit, Diaz has created what costume designers call the danger zone, where the fabric has absorbed enough natural oils to practically stand on its own. She sees this as proof that the clothes have become one with her essence. Everyone else sees it as a biohazard that requires immediate disposal. Number 2. Jennifer Aniston. Jason Bateman discovered Jennifer Aniston's coffee addiction the hard way when their kissing scene in The Switch hit him like a shot of pure espresso. The Friends star consumes 6 cups daily, creating breath so potent that co-stars schedule scenes around her Starbucks runs. Bateman stopped mid-kiss, pulled out a mint with perfect comedic timing, and suggested they freshen the scene while the crew erupted in laughter. By horrible bosses, Bateman arrived armed with what he called Aniston insurance, a pocket stuffed with breath strips he'd slip her between takes. Aniston treats her coffee breath like a quirky trademark, arriving on set clutching her 4th venti while makeup artists position themselves strategically upwind. She's joked that her kiss scenes should come with a Starbucks sponsorship, though her leading men might argue they deserve hazard pay instead. Number 1. Zac Efron. Zac Efron's kissing scene turned into a seafood nightmare when he bit into a tuna sandwich minutes before the cameras rolled. His co-star caught a face full of fish breath so powerful she actually gagged mid-kiss, breaking character to ask if something had died in his mouth. The Baywatch star, mortified by the incident, learned that his pre-scene meal choices could turn romantic moments into endurance challenges that no amount of abs could compensate for. Efron's relationship with hygiene gets complicated by his intense workout schedule. He'll spend 3 hours in the gym, emerging drenched in sweat, then head straight to set without showering because he thinks the post-workout glow looks good on camera. Makeup artists have a different opinion, describing the smell as protein shake mixed with wet dog. They've learned to have towels and body spray ready, though Efron often waves them off, claiming his natural state makes him look more authentic. The contrast between his polished image and his actual hygiene habits became a running joke on sets. During High School Musical reunions, Vanessa Hudgens revealed that even back then, Efron would forget to shower after basketball practice scenes, showing up to their duets smelling like a locker room that hadn't been cleaned since the Reagan administration. That's all for today's celebrity hygiene horrors. Don't miss the videos on screen now, they're just as crazy. Catch you in the next one.